G'day mob, we are down here for our one more big breakfast this morning for GambleAware week, and joining me on the air right now is the host with the most and also the general manager of Lifeline. It is Ange Martin. G'day.
G'day, Lockie.
What a beautiful morning.
Oh, it is just magic. We couldn't have asked for a better day to start and connect with people.
I know. And that's actually been one thing that I've really loved about this location. You know, we're down here at the Jetty Beach, right on the water, not too far away from the cafe, and you've just had a good mix of people. You know, you have some of the regulars popping in, some of our regular big breakfast people, but also just people off the, you know, doing their walk and stopping in and seeing what's going on. It's been great.
Yeah, it has been great.
Yeah, so many beautiful conversations as well across, you know, all the team members that are here. But tell us a little bit about GambleAware Week.
Yeah, so GambleAware Week is just, every year we have it to raise awareness about gambling harm and the services and support that our program offers to local families. So GambleAware Mid and Northern New South Wales is our region, which is from Tweed Heads right down to Laurelton, so it's quite a huge footprint. But it's all about getting down and saying we have free services, whether you have gambling harm yourself or you have a family member or somebody close to you that you don't know how to open up that conversation. We have that support, financial and gambling counselling that can help you.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you know, you talk a little bit about that footprint, and when you think about it, that covers a good part of New South Wales. New South Wales being one of the biggest gambling states, and Australia being the #1 gambling country in the world. This is these are very alarming, you know, facts. What's your thoughts on all this?
Well, I suppose with our program, we're not saying to people they can't have a go on the pokies or sports apps and whatnot, but when it becomes a problem, when you can't pay your bills, you don't have enough money to do the things or buy food, then we have the services to help you, support you to make better choices, and also families to make better choices. So yes, it is challenging when we have one of the highest rates of gambling in our country. You go to other countries overseas, it's not part of the culture. This is all part of the Aussie culture to have a punt. So, and it can be when it doesn't get out of control, it's fine, you can have a bit of fun, and we don't say no, we're just saying if you need some education around that, and it is part of our culture, we just give you the tools and the support to make the better choices.
Yeah, for sure. And do you feel like it's being well received? Do you think people are taking it up as much as they should?
They are. We're seeing every year an increase in people wanting support, and as well as self-exclusion from clubs and venues if they feel that it's getting out of control. We have some exceptional counsellors that are very caring. Everything's confidential. You can have face-to-face counselling and support, or you can do it online. So we make it as flexible as possible. Yeah,
that's amazing, some of those things that people can do, you know, like that self-exclusion from clubs was one thing that stood out to me there. You know, some of that counselling. What other things can people do? Is that sort of the main things?
So they are the main things. We do an education piece. One of the programs that we're launching is with families with children, because gaming is an introduction to gambling. People might not know that, but just playing games and then putting money in to buy skins or you know, to go to that next level, that is actually gambling. So we educate families and young people, or families, how to have those conversations with young people to understand the harm that has, and putting some practical tools in place to just balance that out a little bit.
Yeah, and that's an interesting one. That was one that when like your team told me about, you know, that youth exposure to gambling, or you know, that's a sort of starting point for what could potentially be gambling. that was something that I was very interested in, because you know, you also talk about like in-app purchases, such as things that keep the app going, and you know, it's also because it's creating that addiction within you, right?
It is, and it's also learning how to manage finances.
Yeah.
So that's a big piece too with the financial counselling, is that if somebody does get into trouble or they're finding it hard, then our counsellors will sit down and they'll help them work out a plan and a budget, and giving them some resources and tools to manage that better and learn some really good habits.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, you know, I think it goes hand in hand really with Lifeline and the work that you do, because when it gets to that, a lot of the time when people are starting to realise that it's a problem, it also affects their mental health and that sort of stuff. So tell us a little bit about the work that Lifeline also does.
So Lifeline, we have crisis support helpline, which is 13 11 14 and 13 Yarn. Yeah. So that is a confidential, non-judgmental phone line with our volunteers that listen. They're very compassionate. It's not about giving advice. It is all about letting somebody feel heard and giving them some recommendations and other services that might be able to support them. It's all about prevention. So all our services with our phone line, our text, any of the community engagement we do is all about connecting people and helping them in distress and in crisis, if they're going through relationship breakdowns or their financial distress as well. We're here to listen. That's our core purpose, is just to connect people and let them feel supported.
Yeah. Well, Ange, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for hosting this big breakfast this morning. What a beautiful location. I feel like this is the only place I want to do it from now on.
I agree, and thank you, Lachlan. It's always a pleasure to work with you on this.
Yeah, amazing. And just lastly, I know that the work can sometimes be, you know, always in that crisis phase, but what's your favourite part about your job?
Talking with people. I actually love the community engagement. I think we're very lucky and grateful to be out and about and hearing real stories and hearing stories of hope, where, you know, somebody might have gone through a challenging time and learning how they've come out of that. And that's what keeps us going, is when we're out and about and people thank us for what we do, but, you know, we're part of community as well. So it's important to us.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Ange.
Thanks.
Awesome.